Hey, I'm Tyler Boronski. You're watching my YouTube channel where I interview some of the most recognizable faces in entertainment and the digital space. Today's guest, 11.7 million people and counting have fallen in love with this father-daughter singing duo on TikTok. Their recognition has led to invites onto major network shows such as Ellen and Good Morning America. And even big-time celebrities are taking notice of their talent. The likes of Demi Lovato, Shawn Mendes, and the Jonas Brothers. They are Nick and Sienna, kind enough to join. How are you two? Thank you so much for taking the time.
Hey, Tyler, thanks for having us. Appreciate you. Our first time doing a Zoom interview like this, so super excited.
Really glad to have you on. I know, myself, a lot of people, we've gotten a chance to get to know you guys really over this last year and a half. You guys started posting consistently, I would say, your singing covers on TikTok in March of 2019.
Yeah.
But before the popularity on social media happened, what was life like for the two of you?
Oh, life was honestly pretty simple. Still full-time. I'm a sheriff's deputy for Orange County, so that was my daily job. Sienna was just a 3-year-old having fun playing, Roblox and playing with her toys, going to the park, things like that. So it was honestly just a pretty normal life. And then boom,
Exactly. You guys had been posting TikToks for several months, but it seems like when that Senorita video, you guys posted that's when things kind of blew up, the mainstream opportunities happen.
I love it when you call me Senorita. I wish I could pretend I didn't need you, but every touch is you, la la la, it's true, la la la. Ooh, you keep me coming, ooh, I should be running from you.
What was the next 24 hours like after you posted that video?
Surreal, for sure. I didn't think that anything like that would ever happen. We always tag the celebrities in the videos, because you never know. But just seeing, their names and they actually saw the videos was insane. Yeah, phone calls, emails, it was really short notice, but we almost went out to New York for a BuzzFeed live show.
Oh my gosh.
We just couldn't get out there in time. But just things like that happening, interviews over the phone. We were on Access Hollywood for a quick little, 2-minute excerpt, crazy. Life was crazy, yeah. But before that video, we would just upload, funny videos to TikTok and covers here and there. But that was the one that really put us on the map. And it all happened because a fan page actually took the TikTok, a Shawn Mendes fan page took the TikTok and put it on Twitter. And that's how Shawn Mendes saw the TikTok, so yeah.
Take me through the timeline a little more. There eventually becomes a switch with creators that posting TikToks for fun to it leads to the business aspect sides, the getting the inquiries. When was the process of realizing there's a brand, there's a business kind of organically happening because of TikTok?
Probably, honestly, when brands started reaching out to obviously work with us, that was the first note where this might not just be us posting funny videos or singing covers anymore. And definitely seeing ourselves on TV for the first time. That was crazy. Before we went on the Ellen show, because Senorita was in sometime in
I think it was July?
Yeah, July 18th. But between July and the Ellen show, which was in September, news, we were on the news, they would take the video and kind of play it on the news. So I think the first time we saw ourselves on TV, it was a news station in Florida first.
Okay.
Yeah, NBC. She messaged me. She's like, "Hey, can we throw this up tomorrow?" I was like, "Absolutely, that's awesome." So seeing that was kind of okay, this might actually turn into something, So, but that was probably it, seeing ourselves, and then people reaching out from different parts of the world was another thing. Saying, hey, we saw your video here in, India. We love you guys. You guys have a huge following here. We just want you to know we'll always be here to support you. Things like that.
I know to set up this interview, we're going through your team to get this situated. What was the process of creating a team? You have people behind you working for you guys. What was the process of creating a team for Nick and Sienna?
Honestly, that has been a journey. The first year, we were working really closely with Ellen's team. and they were helping us get our content out there and helping us navigate through brand deals and things like that. And then now, over the past few months, we've kind of taken a step back. I've been networking with different other creators out there, talking to different managers, and really just figuring out who I trust and I want to bring into our life. And we've been very, very fortunate to meet a manager, Lori. Shout out to Lori.
Shout out to Lori.
She has introduced us to a lot of other people that we're bringing in our team. Like, there's a lot to go. There's a lot that goes behind it. And growing up in a social media like kind of generation, I never realized how much is behind these legacy YouTubers like the LeBrant family, Laura DIY. Like, all you see is them on the content. But behind that, there's a lawyer, there's publicists, there's business managers for taxes, you want to make sure you're doing everything legally. So it's really very, very fortunate to have somebody like Lori, our manager, to kind of guide us through all this, because she's been doing it for so long.
Absolutely. I just don't think maybe people realize that. Like, I know from my personal experience, I'll help out other creators with like their YouTube content, creators like Mark Anastasio, and the fans, they just see that 15-second TikTok, but they don't see all the conversations of, okay, we got to create a YouTube video this week. And then they got their own separate teams that they work with their managers, publicists, whatever. And yeah, I just really don't think fans realize there is like a business aspect to this career. When I look at your guys' content, though, I'm not surprised to see the success you guys have had online. You look at it as such wholesome content. Did you think there is a possibility that the lifestyle change you've had happen now could happen for you guys when you started posting?
It was definitely always like, man, that would be super cool if this turns into something like that, to where, maybe we could do this full time one day. But I really honestly and strongly believe that if you really just, go with the flow, don't force anything to happen, and stay humble, like, the things that you truly want inside are going to happen on their own. So like currently now, obviously I'm still full-time law enforcement, but I still do this, at the same time. I'm not rushing to leave that career that I'm in, because I'm thankful for that career. It's something that I've wanted to do for almost my entire life, was be a police officer. So it's not something I'm just gonna throw away like so easily. I'm totally content doing both things at the same time. However, to answer your question, everyone has that hope. Everyone has that like, oh my God, like I want to be, Instagram famous or famous or whatever. But I feel like if you're doing it for the right reasons to help other people, in this case, spending time with my daughter, like I feel like it's a very big possibility of it actually happening. I've always had dreams since I was a kid to be a singer, to be making music for people. And, I feel like we're able to do that now in kind of a different way. And it's pretty cool because I get to share it with Sienna.
Absolutely. Let's talk about one of those major opportunities that did happen for you guys. Kind of touched on it in the intro, and it happened twice to you guys, but the Ellen show, the first time you received the invite, where were you?
At the airport. Crazy, crazy story. So first time Sienna has ever been to an airport. We were at the airport on a delay, I guess, in like South Carolina, I want to say. We were on our way to Good Morning America. The rain, there was such a huge storm in New York that as we were flying over, like I want to say like, Illinois area, we had to divert down to like South Carolina. We missed the show. We weren't able to make it. But my sister sent me a text message while we were waiting for the flight to go back home to Cali. And she said, hey, Ellen just called. What do you want me to do? And I was like, what do you mean Ellen just called? She's like, yeah, she just called and said she's trying to get a hold of you. And I gave her your number. And I was like, well, first of all, are you sure it was them? She's like, yeah, no, for 100% it was them. So I started freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I called my mom, we got on a plane, went back to California, and I landed at LAX to a voicemail from the Ellen show saying that, they had seen our video during the summer and they want us to come on the show. Yeah, so that's how that all started. So it's just crazy how that worked out. Like, maybe we weren't meant to go on Good Morning America first. Maybe we were meant to go on Ellen. So it's just, that was crazy. But yeah, oh man, I did it. It hadn't hit me yet. If you guys ever watched the first time we were on the Ellen show, you could see it in my face when I walk out on that stage. I'm just like, what the heck? Like they told me afterwards they had to mute my mic because I was hyperventilating when I came out. You can hear me in the very, very beginning as I come out, and then you hear my mic cut, and then like you can see me like going a little crazy. But yeah, and then staring into Ellen's beautiful blue eyes was like, that was probably the calming moment. And Sienna was just, my mom was in the audience, her grandma, so that helped a lot. And then the second time we went on the show, I was cool, calm, and collected.
There you go. And like you were saying earlier, try to get that show in New York, didn't work out. But then you were talking about how the Ellen team kind of helped you when you guys first started getting them popular on social media. So things just kind of work out sometimes like that. It's funny. Like you mentioned, you guys are on it twice. And I know you performed on the Ellen show and you performed in front of a lot of people. I've seen one of your YouTube videos as well. What is your favorite part about singing in front of that many people?
You remember when we were singing at Daddy's old school? And then there was so many people there and you were singing and they were just like screaming so loud. 2,000 people were screaming because they loved you. Was it exciting? It was exciting, huh? Mm-hmm. I was so proud of you when I saw you singing there. I was thinking inside my head, I was like, everyone's screaming so loud. I hope Sienna doesn't get scared. You just went through and you did everything perfectly.
Last thing from the Ellen show, the end of your first time on the show, she did what Ellen does and provide some really generous gift to you guys. She gave you, Sienna, the unicorns. How did you feel when you saw all those unicorns when Ellen gave it?
So happy.
So happy. Were you surprised?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was so cool, so sweet. And they're all in her room right now. It's just big sign up, the sign that she made and everything.
Awesome. They also gave you a trip to Hawaii, and you could just see on your face how emotional and how kind of shocked you were. So what were the moments like right after the show? They turned that red camera light off and what happens after that?
A lot of tears for sure. You can see it a little bit at the end of the clip on YouTube. If you were watching the live episode on TV, oh man, they kept filming for a long time and I'm just crying. I remember hugging Ellen. I had no idea we were gonna get anything like that. And I hugged her and she whispered into my ear, or not whispered because it was really loud. And I just wanted to let you know I love you guys so much. And I was, oh man, that's when the tears really started coming down. We haven't been able to go to Hawaii yet because of Corona. I wanted it to be like a legit planned vacations, pushed it all the way to April of this year. So we were supposed to go in April, but we had to postpone, obviously. So I don't know what the weather's like. Maybe we'll go Christmas time this year. But yeah, I was so grateful. Sienna was on cloud 9 when she saw all those unicorn toys and clothes and everything. It was just like adrenaline was pumping too at the same time. We just got done performing. Oh man. I've sang for stuff in high school before. I sang the national anthem at a couple of Angel baseball games, Angel Stadium baseball games. But that was different. That was just a feeling that I'll never forget. It was just so intense. I heard that crowd roaring. I could feel it in my bones. It was just whoa, I cannot believe we just did that. Crazy.
I love it. I can even see it now in your expressions. This seemed like an unforgettable moment for sure. You talked about it in the beginning, connecting with all these other creators and influencers in the space. I mean, you're repping the Hype House shirt right now. Crew, you've kind of got a chance to know. As a parent, knowing that these creators are the people that Sienna and younger kids like her are looking up to now, knowing some of them personally, what makes them, these creators, good role models for people like Sienna to look up to?
I think especially knowing a lot of them personally and hanging out with them even off camera too. I think that when they're genuine and they understand the responsibility, the whole aspect that comes behind them having these, huge amount of followings, and especially with the younger demographic, when they take it seriously, some of them are still kids. I totally get that. But when you have people like Avani and Charli actively spreading positivity to this younger generation or shouting out charities, donating themselves, the horrible thing that happened in Lebanon, all of them jumping on right away and sharing links and, making the world known through all the protests, things like that, people where they can go. And that's what we really look for with people that we associate with. They have really good judgment and good, moral compasses would be a good way to describe it. When Sienna wants to hang out with Charli, it's awesome because I know that Charli, is a good influence on her.
I guess we'll wrap it up like that. And this is for Sienna. Sienna, when you get to hang out with Charli, what do you love most about when you spend time with her?
Do you like to make TikToks with her?
Yeah.
Yeah? She's super sweet. She's like an older version of you.
Yeah. Who are some of the other TikTokers you like as well, Sienna? Who else do you like to watch?
Jonathan and Michael.
Jonathan and Mike. I saw the little date you guys went on YouTube. It was very romantic.
That was a cool time. YouTube is awesome. Oh man, it's a whole nother beast. Still learning. I have Lori to help me and Lauren from Laura DIY. She's huge help. But yeah, super, super fun.
Hey, I appreciate you two taking the time. Really enjoyed getting a chance to know you guys. Been seeing their videos for a while, so it was great to get a chance to chat. So thanks so much, Nick and Sienna.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Bye.
Bye.